So, on to part 3 of preparation for regionals, another deck that you're going to come up against, and I'm sort of thinking that and Whitebeard will probably Rush Zorro as well, will be the most popular decks, but we're going to talk about Katakuri. So for anybody who's played at locals, you've probably seen a lot of this card, and basically for attaching wand onto it, when attacking, look up to one card from the top of your or your opponent's life cards, place that at the top or bottom of their life cards. Then this leader gains 1000 power during this battle. So it puts the leader at 7k, and you can also stack your own life cards to make sure you're hitting triggers when you take damage. And also you can stack your opponent's life cards so that they're not hitting triggers when they're taking damage. I'll run through the deck quite quickly. Starting off with Pudding. This is your main searcher. So on play, look at the top 4 cards from your deck, reveal up to 1 Sanji or Big Mom Pirates type card other than Pudding and add it to your hand. Place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. She is a guaranteed 4 of. Strusen. He's a 2k counter. That's what he's in there for. He's in there to counter. He's at 2 of. The OPO4 Capone Gang Beige. He has a trigger, so up to one of your opponent's leader or character cards cannot attack during this turn. He's the sort of card you want in your life stack, okay? But he's also a handy 2k counter. It's the old art, and they're the standards. Okay, so he's a 4 of. Brule, 3 cost, 1k blocker. Also has a trigger, play this card. So again, handy to have a blocker on your life cards for free on the trigger. 2 of. Amande, 3 cost, 2k counter, 3k card. Once per turn, trash 1 card with trigger from your hand. Rest up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 2 or less. So this is going to clear out the little blockers, the Beiges, the choppers, the killers. This is going to be able to rest them so you can attack through. And that's at 3. Perispero, really nice card. 3 cost, 5k. On KO, so when this card is KO'd, look at the top 3 cards of your deck, reveal up to 1 Big Mom Pirate type card, add it to your hand, place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. Also has a trigger, you may trash 1 card from your hand and then play this card. That's the old art, they're the standards. On to 4 cost cards, so we're looking now at Sanji. 4 cost, 5k blocker. Also has a trigger, trash 1 card from your hand, play this card. That is the old art. And they're the standards, he runs at 4. Opera, 4 cost, 1k counter, 6k power. 3 of. Cracker, this is a different one. This is a 4 cost. Attach wand onto this card. If you have less life cards than your opponent, this character gains double attack and 1000 power. Also has a trigger, trash 1 card from your hand, play this card. Really nice to have if you're in a losing spot against somebody. The double attack helps and the trigger's fantastic. That's at 4. And carry on. We've got Smoothie. So 4 cost, 1k counter, 5k power. When attacking, add 1 card from the top or bottom of your life cards to your hand. This character gains 2000 power during this turn. Also has a trigger, trash 1 card from your hand, play this card. That's 3 of. A second type of Perispero. This deck for a while was missing something in the 6 cost range. You could curve out, you could struggle a little bit. So having a 1k counter, 6 cost with 8k power, even though it's plain, is a really nice card to have in the set. And that's 3 of. Now, onto the expensive cards. And if people are wondering why this card is still expensive, the Secret Katakuri from OPO3 also runs in the NL deck from OPO5, and it runs at 4 of. So NL is expected to be one of the top decks in the next meta, and that's the reason why Katakuri is holding its value. So Katakuri is an 8 cost 8k. On play, add up to 1 character with a cost of 8 or less to the top or bottom of the owner's life cards, face up. So if you're against Eustace Kid from OPO1, you can just put it on your opponent's life cards. Takes it out of the game completely. Really, really, really good card. Very, very powerful. And that runs at, no surprises, 4 of in this deck. A little bit of spice, something a little bit different. You don't see it in every deck. 9 cost Yamato, 9k power. On play, KO up to 1 of your opponent's characters with a cost equal to or less than the total of your and your opponent's life cards. Then if you have 1 or less life cards, add up to 1 card from the top of your deck to the top of your life cards. So if you're behind late game, this card can help save it. If your opponent's got 4 life and you've got 1, you can take out anything of 5 cost. Okay? Just a 2 of in there. And then we're to one of the best cards in the game, or worse, depending on if you're playing with it or against it. 10 cost Big Mom, 12k power. On play, if your leader has the Big Mom Pirates type, add up to 1 card from the top of your deck to the top of your life cards. Then trash up to 1 card from the top of your opponent's life cards. When you play this card, you gain a life and your opponent loses 1 without any of their triggers. They don't hit any triggers. And she is a 12k. It's a big body, very, very difficult to remove. She is a 4 of. Events. Thunderbolt. So this is where stacking your life comes really, really handy. If you can stack Thunderbolt into your life, it has a trigger. The trigger is KO up to 1 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less. If you have to play it from your hand, you have to trash 1 card from the top of your life. Ideally, you want this in your life to hit the triggers. And that is a 4 of. So this deck is open for interpretation. There's a lot of different nuances in it. Some people play slightly different cards in there. Some people still play the 7 cost Big Mom, where your opponent chooses to either take a life or give you a life. This is how I play it. I'm not the best player in the world, but it does work. It's a very powerful deck, and it's one of the top decks in the game at the minute. I assume at the regionals in Liverpool we will see an awful lot of Katakuri or Big Mom decks being played, and they'll all look something like this. And now we'll play on